Taurus. What's up, bull gang? Okay. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. What is the challenge? The blockage? What's the holdup with this divine union? How's everybody doing? I was gonna start these readings last week, but I did some yard work. I'm digging a koi pond, and I'm doing some stuff with my neighbor's yard as well. Some permaculture setup stuff, and I threw my back out so badly that I was. I mean, it's still tense, but I was able to finally walk today. Go on my walk. So I went on my moving meditation, and yeah, I was getting kind of stir crazy, really frustrated. I mean, I was in a lot of pain. It's the first time I've taken an NSAID. I took some Motrin in years. Yeah, it was really bad. It was pretty pitiful. I was not feeling it. So, but you know, that's what happens when you fall out of your practice with your body. All right, so you could be getting back into a practice. That's too many, please. One more. Thank you. Yeah, you could be getting into a practice and like just doing something that is very pure, like purifying yourself in a way that maybe you've done before, but it was a long time ago. So you're going to be doing it again, and it's just going to be a new way of doing it. Right? If you're doing weight loss, that's different. Maybe you're a little older now, and so and maybe your goals are different as well, right? Maybe when you got fit before, it was more for aesthetic reasons. Maybe you wanted actual abs, and now you're just wanting to work on your true core so that you're not crippled for a week because you did some yard work, right? So maybe there's something about readjusting, right? You're just kind of adjusting the plan. And so that could be a challenge for you. Again, with divine union, if you're getting out and about, you're maybe opening yourself up to dating somebody new or receiving this person, you have to open yourself up. You could have been in hermit mode for a long time, or just really just kind of fortified and shut off from the idea of being with anybody because everybody that you kept attracting was just not it. Not it. Next. And so now what you're looking for in a partner is even different, right? I mean, you're looking for somebody divine. That's what you're waiting for. That's what you're not going to settle for anything less than your divine union. So maybe the last time that you were out in the scene, like last time you were on the streets, you were just like a hot toddy out there partying, and you were just fine with casual, although you obviously were not really fine with casual because you're here. So that doesn't work for us because it's not actually stable. It's not actually, there's no longevity, stability, security, and all of those things that we really love. But you settled for it nonetheless. All right, so let's see what's blocking it. We have the Star, the Emperor, Judgment, and the Sun. It could be dealing with an Aries, Aquarius. We have the Star, the Emperor, Leo, and then we have Judgment. So I don't see, these could normally just be like, okay, everything's coming, Judgment Day is here. And this could be your own judgment, your own self-judgment. Maybe you have Leo, Aquarius, Aries. I said it, Aries. High in your chart. And so maybe you're shifting into a different aspect of your chart. Does this camera look crooked? The sun was right in my eyes before, but now I just looked. So yeah, you could be shifting into, see, we are the Empress. Taurus is the Empress, and this is the Emperor. So yes, you could be dealing with an Aries, but this is also the masculine aspect of our calling card, right? Do you remember those? Did you ever use those? The calling cards that you would get to use like a payphone? You could add money to them. The sun again. Strong Leo energy. So yeah, maybe you have Leo in your chart and you're shifting into, which is a fixed sign as well, right? Fixed is earth energy. So you're going in, it's still, you're able to kind of more seamlessly move into another fixed element, but it's in a more masculine energy, right? So it's a more active energy. So you're activating, you're reactivating. If you are the divine feminine, this does not mean that you should pursue. I will not condone that, because feminine energy does not pursue, right? Masculine energy pursues. So if you're going to be active or in a masculine energy, it's not in pursuit of your divine counterpart. It would just be in, because we all have masculine and feminine energy within ourselves, right? Same ingredients, different recipes. So we are, if we're utilizing that masculine energy, it's for self. So this is for self-development. This is to get ourselves into a place where we are the calling card. This is like you're stepping up to the plate, right? You're about to see what you're made of. You're about to prove yourself righteous, right? This isn't about proving anybody wrong, but that could be the judgment thing. You could have been judging yourself really harshly. Yeah, Two of Swords was trying to pop out earlier, so we've got it over here on the side as an additional message. As a child of chaos, maybe you were raised by very judgmental parentals, and so you might not have even believed in yourself. So this is about the star and the sun is belief, divine belief in your wish, in your path, in your calling card. This is your calling. You're rising up to everything that you knew at some point very early on in your life, in this incarnation, that you knew that you were meant for something profound. I almost like grotesque. Why are you being so ugly to yourself? Yeah, somebody was really awful to you. You've had a lot of, and that's kind of ringing in your head, right? The closer you get to God, the closer you get to the sun, the closer the devil gets to you. You could be dealing with Saturn energy. Could be dealing with Capricorn energy, right? Saturn, either way, devil energy. But I feel like your shadow aspect is self-judgment. But right here, see, we have the sun. Judgment and the sun. So all this grief, all of this like you're not good enough, you're not good enough. The sun is here to tell you, like, return to your, you've always been not just good enough, you are more than enough. More than enough. And you have more than enough to give to this, whatever this purpose is. So this feels like you may have to align with your purpose in order to meet your divine counterpart. right? And now that might be literally once you get in that purpose. So say if you want to work with, you want to work in charity, you want to be a teacher, whatever, maybe you're not going to meet them until you get to the school and you start working there. And so then that might put you back a little bit to where, it's not really putting you back because, I mean, what's a year, what's 5 years, what's a decade in the grand scheme of things when you're talking about a divine union, right? A day with your divine counterpart is going to be worth 30 years of waiting or 50 years of waiting. It's not going to matter, right? Because the pursuit of peace is like where the peace really is. It's in the pursuit, right? Something about the pursuit. I feel like, ladies, feminines, you are wanting to be pursued. This is 9 of Pentacles. So if you're not literally physically in the space to meet that person, you have to be on the frequency, right? You have to be, you have to meet them on the same frequency, right? So the movie Thanks for Sharing it's a movie about recovery, sex addiction, and Pink is in it. I don't know what her sign is. Anyway, Gwyneth Paltrow, Mark Ruffalo, and the guy, I can never remember his name, but he's also a porn addict in Love and Other Drugs. So yeah, there's like, last time that you were out in the world and you were available for pursuit, you were being chased, or you were chasing, right? Whichever applies. It was that runner chaser thing, and I'm so sick of this twin flame talk about how twin flames are the runner chaser dynamic. That's toxic. That's condoning trauma bonding, right? It's keeping people in this loop of always looking for the thing that's not looking for them, and that's not divine, right? Divine union is not there. You're not going to be hurt by this person. There's not going to be any deception involved. You guys are going to be so in tune with each other. And in the movie Thanks for Sharing, there's a scene where Pink's character and the guy who plays Olaf in Frozen, the little snowman, I haven't seen Frozen all the way, but I just know he plays that. I'll have to look up his name and his sign. I've looked it up before and I forget for whatever reason, but I like him. I like him so much I can't remember his name. But they meet in a group and they become friends and they go to this ecstatic dance place, right? And so there's something about I don't know, like if you were always like going to the clubs or whatever, going to bars, you know, people in bars, they're all there, the music is blaring, it's usually too loud for anybody to have a conversation, which we like to do with our throat chakras. But everyone's head is down, they're like depressed and they're blocked. They're not in their Hierophant energy because they can't be, right? They're blocked in here because of substance, because of depression, because of shadows, because of regret and grief and ruminating on the past, and just they're blocked. And they're always bumping into each other, right? There's a lot of, and they're not on, there's a lot of frequencies getting thrown around, but it's almost like no one's tuned into their own frequency at all. And so everyone's colliding, and there might be music and karaoke, and there's a lot of like celebratory stuff going on, right? Singing, dancing, drinking, being merry, but it really devolves because it's all in shadow aspects of each other, because people are not tuned into their frequency. So this is about tuning into your frequency so that you can, and this isn't about being on a higher or lower or any kind of competition. There's no competition, there's no comparative. This is not about judgment of others. Nobody can judge you but God kind of thing. This is you. This is you getting on your frequency. And in this scene, they're in this ecstatic dance thing, and it's like nobody is dancing, you know, like at a wedding or at the bar. It's like the Cupid Shuffle comes on, and everybody. I never liked that, or country bars. I've never liked group dances like that. I'm always like I cannot. They're giving me instructions in the song to the left, and I'm going right or forward or whatever. I'm just like, plus don't tell me what the fuck to do. So, but there's something about, I also, you know, was intoxicated much of those times. So there's no way I was going to be able to tune into simple instructions because I was like blacked out. But they're in this ecstatic room, everybody's just dancing to their own frequency, and nobody's bumping into each other. They're sort of moving around each other. And the early name for the Lovers card was the Dancers. This is you getting on your own frequency, and you're just going to blend right in, and everyone is really tuned into themselves. And if anybody were to bump into the other person, it would be like, hey, happy to bump into you, right? It wouldn't even be like it wouldn't be like, hey, man, let's take it outside, you know, like in a bar. There would be there's this flow to it, right? And so it's so there's 7 of Cups and 4 of Cups with the Emperor and the Star, okay? The 7 of Cups is about having a lot of options, and the 4 of Cups is about discerning those options, right? Sifting through the offers, right? Any pursuits that you have, any pursuers, any potential beaux or whatever. It's potential suitors. Suit of Cups. Could be dealing with a water sign. But when they come in, right, you have to get into this 4 of Cups, this discernment. Also, if you are, for whatever reason, if you have slipped back into maybe drinking too much, overeating, or any of your shadow aspects, you know those are not on your frequency, right? So there are ways that you can start to call yourself back, right? So you can change the music that you're listening to, the things that you're watching, the people that you're around, right? So if you're associating with people from your past, like, because everybody wants to be your friend when you're on that when you're on your own frequency, people love it. So you might have been on your own frequency and like really vibing and feeling like you were really tuned in and connected, and then maybe somebody from your past came in, or a new person who's basically the same as those people from your past, right? That same lower vibration energy. People who are not tuned into their own frequency came in to be like, how do I get what you have? And they came in and they maybe knocked you off, right? They knocked you out of your zone. They bumped into you. But they bumped you, they might have hit you really hard and maybe you fell to the ground. But this is you being discerning, right? And using a sort of protective energy, right? Protecting yourself. Like being in that mama bear energy. Like, you're cute and cuddly, but just don't fuck with my babies, right? 2 of Swords, also decisions. This is all about decisions, right? And as fixed signs, people think often we are misinterpreted as being stubborn, or fixed is almost said as a pejorative. Oh, they're fixed. They're so stubborn. They're so stuck in their ways. No, that's called determined. That's called boundaries, right? There's a difference between, right, judgment from other people is condition, right? Judgment for the self, right? Boundaries are for the self, conditions are for others, right? So when you set boundaries, it's divine. That is healthy. It allows you to be freer, right? Somehow doing yoga, you can move the body more on a, you know, 3x6 yoga mat. I think it's like 2.5x6, but anyway, but you can move your body more freely in that space than you could if you had an entire room or you were outside and there were no room, right? So there's something about like setting rules for yourself, holding yourself accountable, like seeing what you're made of. There's expectations for the self are boundaries. That's healthy. Expectations for others are conditioned. That's what I think I was trying to say earlier. But who knows? Maybe I needed to say it both ways. Because that's what I'm trying to get to is the expectations, right? Some people might say, oh, well, you know, you're possessive, or you are, you know, you have such high expectations. Your standards are too high. You might be around people who are telling you, like, maybe you need to lower your expectations a little bit, or maybe you know, not everybody's perfect. I think that's such a lazy way of saying, like, people can just be however the hell they want, and they can treat you poorly, and they can, you know, just be lazy, and that's okay, because people aren't perfect. Well, perfection is subjective, it's relative, so yes, people are perfect for the people that are also on their frequency. So what they're saying is, you should allow people that are not on your frequency onto your frequency. No. That's not how we roll. So yeah, you might be teetering on the idea of, oh, should I just maybe lower my standards? Am I being too rigid? Am I being too harsh? Am I expecting too much? That goes back to self-worth, right? Keep your self-worth. You are worth everything that you expect, right? Because, I mean, it has to start with you, right? So you have to live up to your own expectations. You can't expect somebody else to take care of themselves and, you know, have good hygiene, and you haven't showered in a week, right? So it's like there are things that you have to put into your routine and keep yourself accountable for. But that's really what kids always want growing up, is they want somebody to expect from them, right? Your parents can be mad at you, and that's never as bad as your parents being disappointed in you, right? Or if you ever had a teacher who was like, you know, disappointed in your potential, like that's what we always wanted. Or a coach, right? If you were in sports, you always wanted somebody to hold you accountable for the most that you could do. You wanted to be your best. You wanted to be your biggest, your brightest version of yourself. We all do. And then somewhere along the way, we just kind of give up because people around us didn't expect that of us, right? Because they expected things for themselves. And that's a low vibration. So, and it's conditional. So it's never going to be, conditions are all over the place. But boundaries, you know what to expect. You know what to, and I really feel that with this divine counterpart, there's not going to be any indecision, of course. You guys are going to be on the same frequency. But it's going to be okay for you to expect that this person, you may have to have that talk. And if you are dating people, put that stuff out there. Put it out there in the beginning, because your person is going to be okay with that. They're going to be okay with that very blunt, very direct way of talking, of knowing what you want, right? If you maybe creating some kind of rules, creating some sort of checklist where if anybody is like, if you ask a question and somebody says, I don't know, or I'm open to whatever, that's great for them. But if you're open for anything, you'll fall for anything. A huge butterfly just flew by. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, right? So this is about standing for yourself, standing up for yourself, protecting yourself and guarding your expectations, right? Like, no, damn it, I deserve this. Because if you judge yourself properly, in a divine way, right? It's surrounded by the sun, the emperor is looking at it. If you judge yourself with this, with truth, right? You use your judgment for truth, for divine purposes, for holy purposes, then you'll see that you're more than worth it. You're more than enough. With the Hierophant and the Chariot, again, you could be dealing with a Cancer. You could have Cancer in your chart. But this is also like, this energy here is like shielded, eyes forward, not steamrolling. I'm a steamroller, baby, and I'm rolling down the line. This is, I think maybe you were told you were a bit of an asshole, or you were judgmental because you didn't accept less than you thought you deserved, and then maybe along the way you started to doubt yourself because others were like, I think you're being too harsh, nobody's perfect, and maybe you stayed with people because you stayed with these lower vibrational people that took from you and drained you and kept knocking you to the floor while you were trying to dance, because others told you, like, that's what you're worth. They didn't expect more for you. And that's kind of a shame, because I feel like you have so much going on here to give, and so much here that's very profound. This calling that you have is very profound, right? With the Hierophant, this is a leader, right? And maybe you've been following. But this is independence. This is being a leader. This is being a guide and a guardian, protecting. And you are part of the innocent, right? With the sun, your little heart, the child within your heart, is in need of this protection, right? Because I think that you had a parent that was not discerning. That's children of chaos have one or both narcissistic parents, conditional parents. It's the first time I've tried this bubbly rose. It's good. I tried the watermelon too, which watermelon's my favorite. And I just juiced some watermelon. I feel like Seven of Pentacles and the King of Swords. So Seven of Pentacles is, these are the seeds. It's like, I feel like I don't want to get into a place of, haha, I told you so, you motherfuckers. But I do feel like your glow up, your growth, right? Glow up is such a silly term, but it's still fun. Because that's what with the sun, I mean, it is. It's like, it's a shine on, you crazy diamond. And when you do, I feel like it's gonna close so many doubts that you had. It's going to appease so many doubts that you had, and those doubts are going to be within other people, right? So it is going to be like, I told you so. Like, the best, the best revenge or whatever, because I don't want to slip into a revengeful or spiteful type of energy, but it does feel like you're staying with your fixed energy. You're staying with what you know. More Aquarius energy as well. but you're staying with what you know. You're staying with what you know to be true. And success is the greatest revenge, I think, is what it is, or whatever. And success can mean so many things. Success can mean, and in your case, and in this case, success is that divine union, right? So all those punks that you stayed with out of guilt because maybe you felt like you were being superficial, right? But if you're just not attracted to somebody, there's so much more that goes into that, right? That's your body, your physical body is telling you something about this person. You don't like it. And that doesn't mean that you're superficial. Now, if you stay with somebody because they're rich or because they're hot, but they treat you poorly, that's superficial, right? But if you, you're gonna want to be attracted to the person, right? And that's not gonna be about what everybody else is attracted to. You want to be attracted to the person that you're gonna be with, and you will be. Your divine counterpart, you're gonna find them very attractive, and they're gonna find you attractive. Boom shakalaka. Last two, the Lovers and the Ten of Cups. Yeah, you guys are gonna be very passionate. You're gonna be making love on the beach. Maybe use a Turkish towel or something, because it's sandy, unless you're into that. And then the Ten of Cups. That's the ultimate wish fulfillment for love and abundance. It's fruitful, it's balanced, it's feminine energy, so it's nurturing. Yeah, I feel like this person is just gonna be, you're not gonna feel like an asshole with this person. So the advice for your blockage, all right, and I think this has been the advice every time, affirmations, all right, but also in a more, maybe you don't have to sit in front of a mirror and say, I am beautiful, I am loving, I am loved, I'm worthy, whatever. I can't even say them here, because I'm still working on that too. But putting your decisions down on paper, right? And then you can burn them. I can do a burn ceremony. So if you, let me know in the comments how you feel about the length of these videos. I feel like the ones that get longer than this that's too much. So is this a good time? Do you want even less time? Do you want more direct? Or do you want the longer videos? I might just keep the longer videos for the bonus reads. So whichever sign I get the most interaction from, which will probably be you guys. Because let's be real, Bull Gang likes to actually fucking communicate. So, and then if you just want to keep the check-ins, you can follow me on Instagram, same name, Vegan Taurus, and I'll just be doing the reels on there. So I can do the ceremonies, the rituals, the spell work, any kind of practical application, yoga practices. I'll just be doing 90-second reels. So if you just want to check in, I'll name them under whatever advice I'm going to do for that sign. And so I'll, there's a lot of different things that we could do here to help with discernment, but you can start very small, just by being very direct, and that starts with yourself. So setting boundaries with yourself is going to instruct the energy around you that you're not here to play, that you are here, but you have to start within. So that means purging out the junk food. If you're trying to get healthy, get that shit out of there. Stop bringing it into the house. If you have a shopping addiction, if you've been drinking too much, whatever, setting yourself up for success and planning something. So there's something about outline and planning on paper, maybe making like a vision board and putting things around you, like surrounding yourself with what your idea of success is, so that you see it, Stop watching stuff that makes you feel badly, right? Stop watching these fucking stupid romantic comedies that are all just advocating for this false twin flame journey of trauma bonding and making you feel like if it's not chaotic, it's supposed to be, it's not real. There's no passion there. This is passion. When you have something that's nurturing and stable and balanced, that's when you have boundaries, when you know that you are monogamous, right? It's not an open relationship. It's not casual. It's fixed. It's solid. It is grounded in your energy. And when you have that, then you are so much more free, right? The less stuff and clutter that you have in your house, the more space you have, the more time you have. You're not cleaning all the time, you're not rearranging all the time, you're not looking at visual clutter, you're not constantly stimulated and drained by this visual to-do list. So it's cleaning up your space and minimalism of the bullshit to give yourself that space, that freedom, right? So limiting some things give you freedom in the best and biggest way possible so that you can be your brightest self, right? And trust your judgment. So the best way to trust your judgment is discernment, and then you'll start seeing the rewards from that. You'll start seeing the turnout, the results, the effects. All right, I was gonna keep this one a little bit shorter, but oh well. I think that's good, and I'll see you on Instagram, or I'll see you next time. Until then, I wish you well.